Come on, let's go. That is the way to start a Premier League season. Man United nil, Arsenal 1 match reaction. Listen, I know the performance wasn't the best, but today for me, it was all about collecting the 3 points. There's something I said in the preview. Every single win we've had at Old Trafford has been 1-0. Guess what? It was 1-0 against it. That is literally 6 times we've won at Old Trafford in Premier League history, and all of them have been 1-0. That is absolutely crazy. I'll take the win. It is an away game against Man United, first game of the season. Man United had a terrible season last year. They're trying to start this season on a high note, obviously. They have new signings like Mbeumo and Cunha and Sesko to come off the bench. So I did not expect us to go there and smash them by 10 goals to nil. No, I wanted us to get the win by any means necessary, and we got the wins by any means necessary, and we kept a clean sheet on top of that as well, and our record against the big teams continues. We don't lose against the top 6 teams, and once again we got the win and we got the clean sheet. I'm happy with that. That is how we needed to do it. We needed to pick up the 3 points this week, because it could easily have gone wrong in the next 3 weeks. If you lose to Man United and you lose to Liverpool in the next 2 weeks, it could have been easily 6 points behind Liverpool or something. Man City, this is the way they started the season yesterday as well. You just have to keep up with them, and this is the perfect way to start it, with a win, with a clean sheet. 3 points, that is all you need. Good. I wouldn't say great performance from everyone, but defensively, once again, yeah, they had some shots, but we know what to expect from players like Saliba. We know what to expect from players like Gabriel. Options from the bench, especially defensively, that is such a good thing to have. Last season, we had to play Timber 90 minutes. We had to play, Calafiori or Lewis Kelly 90 minutes. Today, we had the options of bringing Lewis Kelly, bringing the options like Timber off the bench, those options like Mosquera off the bench. So in terms of the bench defensively, we had players to bring on. So I'm so happy with the 3 points. It's always fantastic beating Man United as well. You always want to beat Man United. That is what you want to do, beat Man United. And once again, we've won at Old Trafford. That is like 6 games unbeaten against Man United. Absolutely fantastic. They haven't beaten us since 2022. I am absolutely buzzing. So let's get through what the lineup was. What stood out for me, which players performed great for me, which players performed poorly for me. Should we make any changes next week against Leeds? That is a different kind of game now. Next week, when you play Leeds at home, we expect a different game in that, a different performance in that kind of match. You need us to, go and attack and have as many chances as possible. Let me just change this title. Let me know who your man of the match was. Let me know which players stood out for you, which players disappointed you the most, and are you happy with the win? As long as, even if you didn't perform well, you're happy with the win. You don't care about the performance. You just needed the win today. So we got the 3 points. People are excited. Mighty Arsenal 1 says Daniel, fantastic. I am absolutely good, man. So we beat Man United. We know how much we hate Man United. So beating them in the first game, fantastic. Princess Odegaard is not making any sense today. Again, it depends on how you watch the game, because for me, first half, Odegaard was our best player by far, but we'll talk about it. It doesn't matter who scored as long as we have the win, say Shelley. Yeah, for me, as long as you have the win, this is the first game of the season. I did not expect Saka to be perfect. I did not expect Gyökeres to be perfect. I did not expect, Saliba or Odegaard or Rice to be perfect. None of them were perfect. Like Saka was not, great today. Rice was not that great today. Gyökeres was not great today. So for me, just pick up the win, keep a clean sheet, no mistakes, save the ball. Raya made a couple of errors, but he still made like 7 saves. That is all that matters. So let's go with the lineup. The lineup first was very interesting. So for me, this is what I wanted our lineup to be. This is what I said I wanted our lineup to be. So I wanted Timber at left back and Ben White at right back. So Ben White started because he had a very good preseason. So I was not surprised with Ben White starting. But as you can see, we went with Calafiori at left back instead of Timber, instead of Lewis Kelly as well. And Calafiori, despite, if you ignore the injuries, Calafiori is a very, very good player. Calafiori is an absolutely fantastic player. Going forward and all that is better than what we have in terms of the wing back positions and the full back positions. But it was still a surprise to see him starting today, because I knew Mbeumo would have a lot of chances today on that right side, especially after Calafiori got the yellow card. I was like, maybe we should now try and bring on, players like Timber, Lewis Kelly in the second half. But Calafiori played and still played very, very well. So we went to Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, and then at right back, we went with Ben White. Midfield, Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard as expected. And then up front, we went with Martinelli, Saka, and Gyökeres as expected. I knew Martinelli was going to start because of his defensive work in this kind of game. My prediction was 2-1. I said you're not going to go there and smash them, 5 goals or anything like that in the first game. And then, as I said at the beginning of this video, like I said in the preview, we've gone to Man United since 1992 in the Premier League, and we've gone there like 33 times. we've only won 5 times there before today. And all of them have been 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. So we went there today, 6th win at Old Trafford, and it was another 1-0. So we never usually go there and smash them. No, you go there, as long as you keep a clean sheet, you probably win the game. And that is what we did. We kept a clean sheet, and you give yourself a chance of winning the game. That is absolutely fine. So for the lineup, a bit surprising with the difference. I thought maybe Timber or Lewis Kelly would start ahead of Calafiori, but I don't think Calafiori is a bad player. I think Calafiori is a very, very good player. But defensively, when you're up against Mbeumo, I thought it would be better to have Timber or Lewis Kelly. But we're hoping for the best. We're hoping that, we'd get a few chances here and there, use the set pieces, don't make any mistakes, win the midfield battle, don't give Mbeumo too much space, don't give Cunha too much space. They actually had a lot of space in that first half, Mbeumo and Cunha. And yeah, probably they should have scored, but we kept a clean sheet. That is all that matters. So for the first half, there was a bit of position here and there. There was a lot of fouls. Gyökeres, in terms of bowling, in terms of holding up the ball, he was doing great, but Man United had the first shot on target, came from Mbeumo. He had like 4 of those in this game. Now, I think Odegaard in the first half, I've seen someone in the comments saying Odegaard is not today. That is not true. Odegaard was our best player in the first half. Now, in terms of the final passes, that was not great, because if Odegaard was given the correct final pass, we would have had like 2 or 3 chances in that first half. But in terms of, you can't watch that game and tell me Odegaard was hiding. Not at all. You could see him the whole 90 minutes. He was working hard throughout the game. You could see him, keep picking up the ball, carrying us forward the whole game. Throughout the game, you could see Odegaard in that match. Now, in terms of the end product, yeah, Saka should have been better. I know even Rice should have been better. Odegaard should have been better. But again, for the first game away at Old Trafford, they don't expect us to go and put 9 out of 10 performances from every single player. Next week, if you play like that against Leeds and then you don't create as many chances, there would be a problem. But for this one, you just need to go there and you win. It's still Man United. It doesn't matter how useless they are. There's a reason we've won there only 5 times out of 33 times, because it's not easy going to Old Trafford. First game, they're trying to correct the mistakes from last season. So for me, I was just hoping, can we score fast? Because if we score fast, I don't think they're going to come back from behind and beat us. So the worst that can happen is a draw if we score fast. We ended up scoring fast. Calafiori was very good in the first 15 minutes of that game. He was winning back the ball. He was making interceptions inside United's box, timing the pass well. And we got a corner. And that corner, Calafiori scored the goal. But that corner is all about Declan Rice. Because we have Declan Rice, that is why we can score corners like that. The way he delivers that corner is absolutely fantastic. Like, me and you can score. You just need to be in the right position. You don't even need to put power on the head or whatever. No, the way he delivers that free kick and the corners, it literally goes on top of the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper is a mess. And he makes a mistake and it drops to an Arsenal player. And Calafiori scores our first goal of the season. I think our last 3 goals scored against Man United, or the last 4 goals, 3 of them have been corners against Man United, all 3 of them from different players. Now, I don't mind us scoring corners. I'm very happy when you score corners. I need us to score other goals as well. Obviously, you don't want to score corners every single game, only corners. But I don't mind if Arsenal score corners every single game and still add a couple of other goals. Absolutely no problem, because that is a tool that we have. So why not use it? Like today, probably wouldn't win the game without the corner. So for this one, I'm very happy. Score the corner kick, and you can count it. Now, if we beat Leeds next week 1-0 and we score from a corner, and then we beat Liverpool the following week 1-0 and we score from a corner, and then we beat Nottingham 1-0 and then we score from a corner, then that is concerning, because you'd be thinking, every single goal you're scoring is a corner. But first goal of the season, corner kick against Man United. Last season, Man United conceded 15 goals from set pieces. We scored 17 from set pieces. We've scored 31 corners since 2023. So that is a strength that you have. So use the strength that you have. You don't have to, I don't need you to play like Ronaldinho and Zidane and go past 6 players and score a goal. For this one, win the game as much as you can. Even if you score with your hand, doesn't matter. Just win the game. That is all that matters here. And Calafiori's in the right place at the right time. We are not the ones who made the error. The goalkeeper made the error, and we scored the goal. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, the moment you score that first goal, I knew we weren't going to lose today, because we don't usually concede 2-3 goals majority of the time. So, let me remove this from the screen. Sorry. So I didn't expect United to score 2 goals. So the worst that could have happened today is a draw. But because I knew United would open up a little bit and try and score, I was hoping that we'd create a few more chances in that first half and try and get a goal. So we actually did create a few chances. There was a few openings. Odegaard running through midfield. Odegaard had a shot as well. Martinelli attempted an overhead kick that he missed. Gyökeres, I think, crossed that ball as well. At the time the ball went to the right side, Gyökeres body checked. I think it was delayed, and then that ended up in an Odegaard shot, I think. So we had a few opportunities here and there, but United actually had the the better opportunities in the first half. Dogu hit the post. Now United are going to have chances. They did not expect us to have, 0 shots from Man United. No, they're going to have chances. When you go to Man City, when you go to Liverpool, when you go to United, when you go to Tottenham, Chelsea, all these teams, they're going to have chances. You're also going to need luck. You need to take your chances and also defend well. And you need your goalkeeper to be good as well. And you need a bit of luck. Now, the last 2 times we've gone to Man United, we've been lucky. They should have beaten us last time. And they should have at least scored a goal today. So Cunha had like 3 shots. They got through us a few times very easily. There's once when Cunha ran past like 4 or 5 players. That was too easy for my liking. They ended up having a shot from that. They had another shot off from outside the box. Raya made a very good save from that shot from Cunha on the left side as well. So Raya did make 1 or 2 mistakes, but in terms of shot stopping, there's a couple that were really good, a couple that were really easy. Just keep the clinch, just keep on defending well. And we saw why Martinelli was starting in the first half, because of defensive work. Now, attacking, Martinelli was very quiet again today, but defensive-wise, there's a few times Mbeumo was trying to counter-attack us, and Martinelli would come back and win us a free kick for us and, take away the pressure from us. But I knew the second half he'd probably go off. So Calafiori also picked up a yellow card. The moment Calafiori picked up a yellow card, I was like, we have to sub him off at halftime. I'm scared. You know what happened last season? I am scared of the yellow cards. I start thinking about the Lewis Kelly red cards, the Declan Rice red cards. I'm like, no, he's up against Mbeumo. Why did Mbeumo go to Man United, man? Like, I actually like Mbeumo as a player, but the moment you go to Man United, they automatically hate you. You can, even Thomas Frank at Tottenham, you can't go to Man United, they automatically hate you, but he's a very good player. So I was right away saying Calafiori will probably need to foul Mbeumo again. Time to bring on Timber, time to bring on Lewis Kelly at halftime. Let's see what happens. But Calafiori stayed on and he actually did a very, very good job. So in terms of the first half, I think the correct result should have been maybe at least 1-1 at halftime. In terms of the stats, they had more possession. We had 1 big chance. They had double the shots that we had. Our goalkeeper made 4 saves in the first half. Theirs made 2. They had more passes than us, more tackles. They had a dangerous free kick that was taken by Bruno Fernandes as well. So they had a few opportunities here and there, but they didn't take it. So I was worried that if you don't get a second goal, they'll bring on Seska. You never know what is going to happen. You need to, keep your minds. Can we get a second goal and make it as comfortable as possible? Now, at halftime, we didn't really make any subs at all. So we needed to defend a little bit more and then hope that Saka, Martinelli, and Gyökeres, try and perform better in the second half. Now, next week against Leeds and the following games, I don't know what is going to happen, because in terms of the forward line, I would not be surprised if Madueke started next week against Leeds. Trossard is back. He was on the bench today. If he doesn't get sold, could he be the one starting next week against Leeds? I don't know. Now, I knew deep in my mind, I knew Arteta would have wanted to start Havertz today. Now, Arteta would not have started Havertz today because we know the consequences. If Havertz got 2 chances today and then missed them, you know what would have happened. People will be like, why are you benching Gyökeres for Havertz? Gyökeres is on the bench. Havertz has missed 2 chances. So he couldn't have done it. So I'm sure that is one reason that I'm sure he thought about starting Havertz, but he was like, no, let me start Gyökeres. Because of how Havertz plays against this kind of teams. Like Newcastle away, Tottenham away, I want Havertz in those kind of games, not specifically up front as a striker, no. But in terms of the bowling and the energy from midfield and running with the ball like the way he did 1 minute after coming on, that he can do that. And probably Arteta prefers that in a game like this, someone who can come back to the midfield and come back to defense and work hard and, pass players and win us free kicks. I knew he probably wanted to start Havertz, but because Gyökeres did not get any chances today. This was that kind of game where Gyökeres probably doesn't get any chances, Saka probably doesn't get any chances. You need to create a chance for yourself and score any chance that drops to you, 1 or 2 chances that you're going to get in this particular game. So Gabriel is absolutely fantastic, man. As a defender, I don't know where we got Gabriel from. I know it was Lille, but whoever spotted him, absolutely fantastic, because Gabriel has been, the way he's been improving for 5 years consecutively. There's a time Gabriel was giving away penalties, getting silly yellow cards, silly red cards. He would make mistakes. These days, Gabriel, there's a time Mbeumo was running one-on-one and Gabriel just came with his, by force with his energy and just shoved him and should have gotten us a free kick in that position. I don't know why the referee didn't give it. But the defending from Gabriel in that second half, fantastic. He's come back from a 4-month injury. It doesn't look like he's been away for 4 months. So Gabriel, absolutely fantastic once again. Rice had a shot that went over the bar, and then we actually make some very early subs. Havertz and Madueke came on for Gyökeres and Martinelli. I don't think Martinelli starts next week. I think Gyökeres will start next week against Leeds, but I don't know if Gyökeres starts against Liverpool, because I'm sure Arteta likes Havertz in those kind of games where he's going to come back and defend and do all that. Next week, Gyökeres will start, but interesting to see if he's going to start the other big games against like Liverpool in the third week, or maybe until he adapts, because I'm sure Arteta wants something more in this kind of games in terms of defending and hard work especially. So we expected more from Zubimendi and Odegaard, obviously. I would say Zubimendi kind of struggled in that first half. He was giving away some silly free kicks. I mean, I don't think Saka was great. I don't think Zubimendi was great today. I don't think Gyökeres was great. I don't think Declan Rice was great. So today was all about picking up the win for me. Just pick up the win. We don't need 9 out of 10 performances. And since we can pick up a win like that without, Zubimendi playing well, without Rice playing well, without Gyökeres playing well, without who else? Without Rice playing well, all those guys. I don't think they played badly. No, I'm saying in terms of you expect like a 9 out of 10 from Rice, but today was like a 6 or 7, I'd say. So second half, Havertz, Madueke, Gyökeres, Martinelli go off. Literally nothing happened for the next 10 minutes. Havertz did make a few good runs here and there, won us a couple of, I think 1 or 2 free kicks. Timber and Lewis Kelly came on for White and Calafiori. Calafiori did very well, apart from this goal, the way he defended, even with the yellow card up against Mbeumo. Mbeumo is a very good player. You can just tell, like, he's going to score goals for Man United. He's a very, very good player, so he's going to score goals for them. So for us to, not pick up any more fouls and not pick up any silly yellow cards and all that, that was great. So I mean, I remember our difference back in the day. These days, man, you can bring on Timber and Lewis Kelly for White and Calafiori, and I'm very happy. I'm like, this is great. These defenders who are coming on are very good as well. Back in the day, we'd never do that. Like, if Koscielny is injured, we'd be in so much trouble. There's no one else on the bench to come on. But these days, we actually have some players on the bench that can come on. Kivio was not even on the bench. Nogard was not even in the bench because he had a lot of players on the bench. So the last 20 minutes, I was hoping we'd still get a second goal, but I knew Man United would try and score. Sesko was on at this point. Mbeumo had a header that was saved. For me, Raya is still one of the best goalkeepers in terms of shot stopping. There's a couple of times he does silly things, like the first half where he was holding onto the ball too much and almost gave away the penalty. I was like, David, come on, man, just clear the ball. And the second half where he literally had like a goal kick and kicked it out of the pitch. But in terms of shot stopping, out of when you do the ratings at the end of the season, Raya still has 8 or 9 out of 10. If you watch this whole season overall, Raya will still save us so many times. But he had a couple of Rayas today, but he still made like 7 saves today. So I'm very happy with that. And then Mbeumo header that was saved was a bit easy. Diallo also had a shot that was saved right after that. Declan Rice had a free kick after that actually maybe it could have been going in if it wasn't deflected. I was surprised to see Declan Rice going off for Merino. Usually Declan Rice doesn't get subbed off in this kind of games. But once again, it is very good to have a team like this where we can actually take off Declan Rice and bring on Merino. That is absolutely fantastic. We usually don't have that kind of squad depth, and this season I want to see that. I want Saka to be subbed off. I want Rice to be subbed off. I want Odegaard to be subbed off. I even want Gabriel to be subbed off. We don't want these players to play 90 minutes every single game. We need to protect this kind of players. So Merino can come on and do the job, and I think he did. Raya got a yellow card for time wasting. Saka had a shot that was blocked later on in the game, and then in the 92nd minute we did something very foolish. When you got a corner kick and we played it short and Lewis Kelly almost got a red card from that. Those are the kind of things that I want to see. We have 4 minutes remaining in the game. Don't make any errors. And us playing a short corner and then passing it all the way to Lewis Kelly and Mbeumo is there. That could easily have been a chance for Mbeumo. That could easily have been a red card for Lewis Kelly. And then from our own corner, that would have been terrible. So that is one of the few times we lost concentration in that game, but luckily didn't result in anything too much. And we ended up holding out for a clean sheet and a 6th win at Old Trafford in like 33 years. That is fantastic, man. I've watched Arsenal since 2003, and we never go to Old Trafford and win games, man. I've only seen us like winning there like 4 times in 22 years. So winning there is absolutely big, and defending well, keeping a clean sheet against Mbeumo, who was very lively. Cunha was very lively. Sesko and Gyökeres, I don't expect those guys in the first game, Man United against Arsenal, to score braces. No, so I didn't expect much from him off the bench. But in terms of players like Bruno and players like that, you want to watch out for them because he usually scores against us. You want to, and make sure that they don't get past you. But overall, we got the win. That is all I needed today. I did not need us to have a 10 out of 10 performance today. Just pick up the win. Just pick up the win. That is all that matters, because Liverpool won, Man City won. Let's use those 2 teams. They scored 4 goals, both of them. And you saw, players like Cherki and players like Chiesa coming off the bench, and you're thinking, man, even these guys are coming off the bench and scoring. You're going to need a big season. And Liverpool is probably going to go and win at Man United. Man City are probably going to go and win at Man United. So you need to win all of these games. Last season we drew this game, this season we've won. So that is already an extra 2 points from last season. Now what you need to be doing is, personally, I don't have a problem when we play big teams. Yes, you can get a little bit scared and worry that, imagine United beating us in the first game. But I know we play very well against Man City. I know we play very well against Liverpool. I know we usually don't lose those kind of games. Man United as well, Chelsea. Now let's see how we do against Leeds at home and Everton at home and teams like that. Can we create, have 20 shots in that game? Let's hope so. But you got the win, guys. Very, very happy with the win. If you take a look at the stats, we'll come to the player ratings, but let's do the stats very, very quickly first. So overall in this game, we had they had more possession. Surprisingly, I did not think Man United would have more possession in this game. They had 61%. We had 39. That's actually quite a lot, 61. And then there was only one big chance in that game. It dropped to us, not to United. They didn't have any big chance at all. They had 22 shots. We had 9. So efficiency as well. When you get one chance, just score from it. Our goalkeeper made 7 saves. We had 4 corner kicks. They had 3. A lot of fouls. We made 19 fouls. They made 10 fouls. They had more passes, more tackles. So basically, they did what we usually do to teams at the Emirates Stadium. We have many shots, we have a lot of the possession, but you look at the big chances, it's 0-1. So we did that to them. We also played their game a little bit as well with the counter attacks and all that. We used the right side more today. We used the right side more as per usual. The left side second, the middle of the pitch a few times here and there. So we had 19 touches in their box. They had 36 in our box. Usually, if you check the whole every single of our games throughout the season, we usually wouldn't allow a team 36 touches in our box, but yeah, it was a different kind of game. So it makes me even more happy that we kept a clean sheet in this kind of game. 2 offsides for us, 1 for them. In terms of defending, 61% tackles for them, 56 for us, interceptions 5 each. We made 50 recoveries. We made more clearances than them, and then they made 1 error leading to a goal that was from Bayende. So 1-0 win. We got the win. I'm very, very happy with that. I'll come to you guys' comments. But first, let's very quickly do the player rating. So, Man United, nil, Arsenal 1 player ratings. Let's start with David Raya. For me, I don't think David Raya is our biggest problem. Today wasn't his greatest performances, but he still made 7 saves. Now, 3 or something of them were a bit easy, but he still made a couple of very good ones. If I can remember from the top of my head, there was one Cunha one from the left side that was very good. I think with his hand, like he got low and saved it. And I think the header from Buemo, those were good saves. He also kept a clean sheet. I know he almost caused an error in the first half, but for me, I don't have a problem with Raya. Maybe just need to tell him to sometimes quicken the kicking. But in terms of shot stopping, for me, Raya, fantastic. He got a yellow card for time wasting. I would give him a 7, but he kept a clean sheet, an extra point. If he kept a clean sheet, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. He made 7 saves. So 7 saves is a lot of saves to make. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. He kept a clean sheet as well. So did I miss any of his stats? Let me just check on SofaScore stats. 7 saves, 1 punch, 5 saves from inside the box. That is great. 2 high claims, 6 out of 20 long passes. Usually better than that. 1 clearance. He won 1 aerial duel as well. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. For me, I don't have a problem with Raya. For me, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. I don't think that's our problem. Calafiori at left back. I mean, yes, Mbuemo got past him a couple of times, but I would expect that. It is Mbuemo, Salah, those guys are going to get past you a couple of times. But overall performance, I think Calafiori did very well. He's usually looking very promising going forward. I think in terms of the fullbacks, is one of the better ones in terms of attacking. In terms of defending, probably you'd have Timber and Lewis Kelly ahead of him, but in terms of going forward, he's very, very good. And he also scored the winning goal for us. He kept his head when he was on a yellow card for an extra 30 minutes. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 as well before I check his stats. So I usually just give them the rating from what I watched, and then I check the stats to see if I missed anything. So for Ricardo Calafiori, he scored. He had 3 clearances, 1 interception, 1 tackle. He was dribbled past only once, so that is good. He committed 2 fouls only, so that is great. 35 touches, 90% pass accuracy, scored our winning goal. 8 out of 10 for Calafiori. Ben White on the other side. For our defenders, I usually don't have a problem with whoever is playing, whether it's Tim, whether it's MLS, whether it's Gabriel, whether it's Kivio, whoever is playing. I think we have a very good defense, and we've come from afar to the point where we can actually say we have 8 good defenders. That is crazy. So Ben White, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think, maybe attacking wise, you'd expect more. He usually gets forward more. But today, defensive work, he did it. 4 clearances, 1 interception, 2 tackles, 1 blocked shot. He won 2 out of 3 aerial duels, 3 out of 6 ground duels. He also created 1 chance. Didn't really make a mistake. I don't think him and Calafiori really made any mistakes, so that is great. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. We have some tough games coming up, man. Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle. Let's see how we'll do it. Gabriel and Saliba, come on, man. These guys are top notch, man. Like, we're so lucky to have these 2 guys. Gabriel, 8 out of 10. The defending from this guy, for a player who's been out for such a long time, for a player who's, I think this is like his 3rd start since preseason, and you'll never know Gabriel has been out. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Now, listen, I know there's a couple of times when Cunha went past and Buemo went past, but overall, in terms of the game, the reason why I'm able to confidently say when we score fast that we're not going to lose is because of players like Gabriel. They're going to defend their hearts out. They're going to put in tackles. There's a block he had from Mbuemo shot, 8 out of 10. In terms of his stats, he had... let's see, he blocked 3 shots. That is what Gabriel does. 2 clearances, tackles 1. He was only dribbled past once, just like Calafiori. 3 out of 5 ground duels, 3 out of 6 aerial duels. He won us a couple of free kicks as well. 2 out of 5 long passes completed. That 9 touches. Defense, you keep a clean sheet, you're going to win the game. And Gabriel and Saliba and players like that give you the best opportunity to win a game. That's why you feel like if you score 1 goal, you're going to win because of players like this. I'm going to give Saliba an 8 out of 10 as well. Absolutely fantastic defenders to have in the team. This is why teams like Real Madrid want him and teams like that. That is why they're going to need to pay 200 million for players like this. 7 clearances from Saliba, 2 blocked shots, 4 tackles, 1 interception, 5 out of 8 ground duels, 3 out of 5 aerial duels. These are fantastic numbers. Maybe it should even be a 9, but yeah, it wasn't like a crazy attacking display from United, but they still attacked a lot more than us. They still had 20 plus shots in this game. So Saliba and Gabriel, 8 out of 10 for both of them. I think they did very, very well defensively. Zubimendi, now midfield was different. I thought our midfield would be better than most of the rest of the team. Now, Zubimendi kind of struggled in the first half. He was giving away in terms of fouls, not being dribbled past or anything like that. Overall, in terms of the end of the season, I still think Zubimendi he'll be mentioned as part of the best team in the season. I'm sure of that. Like, it's very good. Like, in terms of games where you're going to dominate, it's going to be very good. So I really trust him for sure, because we didn't even have Nogard on the bench. So we were sure you're going to play Zubimendi 90 minutes. He's going to do the job for us. Now, in terms of when he has the ball, he does the job. He doesn't really lose the ball that much, but he did foul a couple of times here and there. If I was giving him a rating after the first half, I would have been giving him like a 5 or 6. But because of the second half and the tackles and the blocks and all that, and because we still kept a clean sheet at United, I'm going to give him a 7. But if I was doing these ratings at halftime, it would have been a 5 or something. But second half, I think he was better, 7 out of 10, and we got the win. So if we take a look at his stats, 3 tackles, 1 interception, 1 blocked shot, 2 clearances. I think there's one that came from Sesco Mbuemo around the 80th minute or something, where was it like, I can't remember the exact thing, but the cross came a low cross, and I think Zubimendi blocked it. So we expect better from Zubimendi. He was very good against Bilbao. That was like a 10 out of 10 performance. 3 out of 6 ground duels, 1 out of 2 aerial duels. So let's see, 89% pass accuracy. Yeah, in terms of the fouling and all that, I think he committed a couple of fouls for sure in the first half, especially. How many was? 2 fouls. So not that many, but yeah, a couple of them that were quite dangerous, because one of them was a free kick for Bruno, very, very close to the goal. So 7 out of 10, but if I was giving it at halftime, it would have been a 5. Declan Rice as well, I'm going to give him the same. Now, Declan Rice got an assist as well. He got an assist as well. Does it count as an assist? It's his corner. His corner makes everything. Now, I'm going to give him the same. I think Rice, if without that assist, I would give him a 6 out of 10. But because his corner is what has led us to winning another game once again, his corner is very, very good. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 because of he got the assist. So in terms of overall performance, you expect Rice and Zubimendi to be way better than that, obviously. That was overall, that was like a 6 out of 10 performance from Zubimendi and Rice, both of them. And we know they can put up 9 out of 10 performances, so we expect more. 81% pass accuracy, 2 shots blocked. Like his shots were blocked twice. He blocked 1 shot himself. He committed 1 foul. He was subbed off, so not the best of days for Rice, but still a 7 out of 10. Now, I think Odegaard was our best player in the first half. In terms of especially the midfield, Odegaard was better than Rice and Zubimendi in the first half by far. Now, if Odegaard was taking care of his final pass, he would have had a second goal because he was doing very well. He was going past 3 players and then he's getting into the near the box, and then he overhits his pass, so he picks the wrong decision, or he shoots the ball. There's once that it was blocked. But overall, you can't watch the game today and say Odegaard was hiding. Not at all. He was the one that we saw the most today. You expect a better final ball, obviously, but overall, I think he was one of our best players. Now, I don't think he was as good as an 8 out of 10, so I can't really give him an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is so high. But also, if I was giving halves, I would have given Odegaard a 7.5. I would have probably given Zubimendi and Rice 6.5. But Rice maybe a 7 because he got the corner for us that we scored. I'm going to give Odegaard a 7. I've given all of them a 7, but Odegaard was better than Zubimendi and Rice, but he was not an 8 out of 10. No, there was still a lot of errors, like in terms of the final pass or final decision or taking too much time to pass the ball. There was still that, but in terms of the first half, he was the one. That's why he doesn't get subbed off, because even the last 10 minutes, he'll come back and defend. He'll come back and win the ball back fast. The last 10 minutes, there's a few times Madueke, Saka, and Odegaard, I was like, don't just give away the ball that easily. Keep the ball for a few seconds. They were just clearing the ball and giving back to United. But I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He had 1 shot on target, 5 out of 7 long passes, 3 out of 5 dribbles completed, 5 out of 8 ground duels, 5 clearances. That is very good for an attacking midfielder. 1 interception, 1 tackle. He created 1 chance. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 as well, but I think he was better than Zubimendi and Rice today. But obviously need more. Now, next week is going to be very, very interesting to watch, because that is the kind of game now I want Odegaard and players like Gyökeres to do something different. I'm expecting Odegaard to create at least 3-4 chances in a game like that, but 7 out of 10 for him. Oh, now the forward line players were really quiet. Same, Saka as well was very quiet today, so this is very tough. Saka, I think Saka is a 6 out of 10. This is very low. I usually don't give players like Rice 7 and Saka 6. They're usually way better than this. Yeah, I think Saka is a 6 out of 10. I think you guys would agree. I don't think it was more than that. Especially the last 10 minutes, as I've said, they were losing the ball a few times. Him and Odegaard and Madueke and Havertz as well. I think the final 10 minutes, there's a few times I was hoping they would keep the ball a little bit and then they would just give it back to Man United so easily. Now, Saka, that is one of his most quiet days in an Arsenal shirt. Even players like Mount are coming and taking the ball away from him. You expect Saka to be better than that, especially against Man United. Saka has been way better than that. I think over the last 3 seasons, that is probably the poorest Saka's played against Man United. Now, he only had 1 shot that was blocked. He created 1 chance, 4 out of 12 ground duels. As well as the corners. There's 2 corners that he took out that were very, very bad. One of them was cleared like near post. So Saka, I think 6 out of 10 is fair. Now, this is not to say they were like completely useless. No, we know at the end of the season, Saka is probably still going to be our best player, but you still need to see more from Saka, from Rice, from Zubimendi, all those guys. Defensively, I think every single one of our defenders was good, but from Zubimendi going forward, I think you need to see improvement from Zubi, from Rice, from Odegaard, from Saka, from Martinelli as well. Now, Martinelli will get a 6 out of 10 because of his defensive work. Defensive work was great, so I'm not going to give him a 4 or 3. I'm sure people have said 3 or 4. No, defensively, Martinelli did his job. That's why I started the game, to come back and defend and all that. He created 1 chance, 2 out of 5 ground duels, 1 tackle. There's 1 time that he came and took the ball from Buemo, who was trying to counter-attack us. But that was it. In terms of attacking display, yeah, it was not just Martinelli. We didn't really see anything from Martinelli, from Saka, or from Gyökeres at all. They didn't get any chances at all. I don't think Martinelli and Saka even dribbled past a player at all. So 6 out of 10 for the both of them. That is just a bit average, just above average. So not 7 or 8 or 9, 6 out of 10. Now, Gyökeres, in terms of appearing in the game, in terms of holding up the ball and body checking and all that, he was okay, but yeah, there's also a couple of times that he lost the ball very, very easily. So just like Saka and Martinelli, I think those were 6 out of 10 performances that I'd even be okay if you give them like 5.5 Saka, Martinelli, and Gyökeres. Now, defensive work was still good. Gyökeres still came back and cleared a couple of corners from Man United. Martinelli still came back and defended well. Saka still came back and defended well. Now, defending well from these players, that is very good. In a game against Man United, I'm not saying that is a bad thing. No, coming back and defending in a game like this, there's wingers who never come back to defend. So this is very good that, yes, our players, if they're not having any impact up front, you still see defensive work from Saka, from Martinelli, from Gyökeres. But obviously, next week against Leeds at home, you're expecting a different performance from all three of them. So 6 out of 10 for all of them. We got the win at Old Trafford. We still kept a clean sheet. So I'm not going to give players 4 out of 10. There's no one who was a 4 or 3 out of 10. No. Off the bench, who came on first? Havertz and Madueke came on first. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm sure Ateta would have wanted to start Havertz in this kind of game because of his defensive work and the way he comes back and wins us free kick and all of that. I think Havertz was okay when he came on. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I mean, I don't think Havertz was coming on to score chances or anything. No, I think he literally just came on to give us that energy up front and in the midfield and all of that. I think by the 70th minute, we are satisfied with having a 1-0 in this game. So 6 out of 10 for Havertz. There's one run that he made when he came on that was really good. He came back and won the ball back and went past like 2-3 players. And then, yeah, he went to almost the corner flag. You weren't even really trying to score. He had 18 touches, 3 out of 6 ground duels, 2 out of 4 aerial duels, 50% accurate passes. So yeah, I'm just going to give him a 6 out of 10. Does he start against Leeds next week? Now, listen, I don't have a problem with Gyökeres and Havertz both starting in a game like against Leeds at home. No problem. If you want to play both of them up front, that is absolutely fine, because that is a game you're going to need to attack and score goals and all of that. So you can have both of them if you want. Against Liverpool is down. That is going to be very interesting, because I'm sure I would want a player like Havertz in games like that where it's going to be hard hitting against Newcastle away in games like that. Havertz gets a 6. Madueke, I mean, again, because players like Madueke and players like Saka, we usually look at their attacking performance. But in a game like this, I don't even think Madueke was really coming to attack. Did you even see him in the box even once? I don't even think so. So again, I would need to see players like Madueke playing at home against, Everton, against Leeds, even against Man United at home. Those are the games I would like to see Madueke and Havertz and those guys. I see how they do in those kind of games. Because against Man United away from home in the first game, I don't expect Madueke to have 5 shots and Saka to create 10 chances. So it's a bit difficult. But he did create 1 chance. He had 1 out of 6 ground duels. That is not that great. So if I was giving halves, I would probably say like 5.5 or something, but I'm just going to give him a 6. I don't want to go below a 6 because everyone still did a good job defensively and all that. So 6 out of 10. Timber and MLS came on. Now, I think Timber came on and did very well. He came on and went on the ball back a couple of times, wasn't really exposed. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Again, when a player like that comes on, you need some defensive work from them. Timber got a yellow card as well. When was that? Timber got a yellow card. I don't even remember that Timber got I don't even remember. I remember Raya getting a yellow card. I don't remember Timber anyway. 7 out of 10 for Timber. If you take a look at his stats, 1 clearance, 2 tackles. He was involved in 8 duels as well. So that's very good from Timber. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 because he came on and did the job as well. Lewis Kelly. Now, I don't think we should have passed that ball to Lewis Kelly anyway. the short corner that Lewis Kelly almost ended up getting a red card for falling Buemo. We were lucky. I don't remember who else was in the defense, but luckily we didn't get a red card or give away a goal from that. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Again, I don't have a problem with Timber starting or Lewis Kelly starting or Calafiori starting or Ben White starting. I'm happy with any of them. 6 out of 10. Who was the last sub to come on? Merino. He was only on for like 10 minutes, so I'm just going to give him a 6 out of 10. I think that is fine enough. Now, Mikel Arteta. Where's Arteta? I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for today. We got the win. It's away at Old Trafford, keeping a clean sheet once again. If you defend well, if you don't concede a goal, you cannot lose a game. That is just the simple mathematics. If you don't concede, you're not going to lose the game. Overall performance, you expect it to be better. But for this particular game, I'm going to allow it. Now let's see something different, especially in the Leeds game next week. Sub-wise, very interesting that he took off Gyökeres in the 59th minute for Havertz. I knew why he took him off, because maybe you aren't really going to give Gyökeres any chances for this kind of game. And if you want a player to come and defend, you probably want Havertz because he's going to come and defend more and all that. Madueke one was, I thought that was a bit early because Martinelli was doing okay defensively. Madueke didn't really get any chances up front anyway. Timber MLS, that's fine as well. Very brave to keep on Calafiori because I would have subbed him off after he got that yellow card at halftime. I would have subbed him off for sure. So he was brave to keep him on. And then apart from that, I don't really have a problem anyway. It was a 7 out of 10 performance. We'll start, seeing from next week. Let's see what kind of changes he makes against Leeds. How many chances we create in that game, how often we attack in that game, how much possession and all that, how many chances we allowed to Leeds. For Liverpool, Man United away, those kind of games, it's difficult, but we got the win and we got the clean sheet. That is all I'm worried about. Very, very happy. Man of the match. Who would you guys vote as your man of the match? Comment down below. Thank you for being patient. Let's come to you guys' comments now. We got the win against Man United. We hate Man United, so we're very happy to pick up the win against them. Let's see. Prince says happy with win, but Odegaard almost spoiled the day. Is it the one that gave the pass to Lewis Kelly from the corner? That short corner, I don't know I did that anyway. If it was him, I do not know I did that because I was like, just don't pass the ball back because Mbeumo is waiting to counter attack. But if you're talking about Odegaard's overall performance, he was our best midfielder today. And in terms of the first half, I think he's our best player. Now, overall, in terms of the game, obviously our defense was better than anyone else. But in terms of the front six from Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka, who was the best between those six players? It was Odegaard. Between those six players, it was Odegaard by far. So in terms of the final pass, though, he needs to do better in terms of that because he could easily have had a second goal if he took care of his pass. Eugene is not having it. Eugene says Odegaard is too weak, doesn't affect big games. Again, there's situations like that. Yes, I agree. But today, you cannot say Odegaard was quiet or you did not see him. No, he's the one who's coming back in the first half and collecting the ball and pushing us forward. Now, what he was not doing right is the final ball. The final ball to Gyökeres, to Saka, to Martinelli, he was misplacing those. But in terms of, you cannot watch that game and tell me, Odegaard was poor. He should not be. Our captain is not a good leader. Now, in terms of that game, I just said it yesterday. Like 95% of everyone in the team voted for Odegaard to remain as a captain. There's a reason. Whatever we think, there's a reason why Rice wants Odegaard to be the captain. There's a reason why Albert Steinberg wants Odegaard to be the captain. There's a reason why our goalkeeping coach Inaki wants Odegaard to be the captain. There's a reason. Now, he was not hiding. There's a few games where you can say, Odegaard was quiet, you didn't see him, or this particular player was hiding. You cannot watch today's game and tell me Odegaard was hiding. He did not hide the whole game. He's the one who's coming back and picking up the ball and doing all that. In terms of forward play and chances and all that, you expect more, obviously. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for the Leeds game next week. I see now if Odegaard played like this next week, that's different because next week I'm expecting him to create like 4 chances for the forward players and all of that. But in terms of the play, if you thought Odegaard was poor today, then you probably think Zubimendi was poor today. You probably think Rice was poor today. You probably think Saka was poor today as well. So that's why I gave most of them a 6 out of 10. The 3 points is my happiness in this game, says Musa. Brian says Odegaard and Martinelli not that good. I don't think any of the front six were good. I don't think Saka was good. I don't think Gyökeres was good. I don't think Zubimendi was good. I don't think Rice was good. I think all 6 of them are not that good. But in terms of defensive work and all of that, we did not get bullied or anything like that. Arsenal never get bullied. When we can talk about the captain or players being hiding or whatever when you're being bullied and stuff like that. But no, he's the one that you could see the most in that game. Odegaard. He's the one that we saw the most in that game, trying to affect the game. Now, forward, in terms of forward play, different. We literally did not see anything from Odegaard, from Martinelli, from Saka, all of that. Good job, Dan, says Joseph. I'm just happy with the 3 points. So me, I'm just happy with the 3 points. I knew it was going to be a tough game. I did not expect us to go and win 4-0. Ricardo Calafrio is my man of the match, says Musa. Emmanuel says they don't care if he didn't play well. I personally agree with that as well. And I don't think we played badly. And you're not going to go there and have 80% possession and all that. Again, there's a reason why you've won there 5 times in 33 years. There's a reason. We never play well at Man United. Never. I've never really seen us playing well at Man United ever. The 3 points matters to me. I said the other day that Man United will pay for the Villarreal scenes. Buzzing. I'm glad we won with a clean sheet, says Ake. Very happy with that as well. Rice is the angry lion in the pitch. Now, yes, even if Rice doesn't play well, even if I'm giving him a 6 out of 10, you're never going to watch that game and say, oh my goodness, where's Rice? Is so quiet. He's being bullied. Nah. Rice is always energetic, always working hard, always doing everything else right. Even if it doesn't affect the game as much as we want, he's still very good. Rice is the angry player on the page. Emmanuel says Mendy complete player, happy with the 3 points. Second half was great. First half he's struggling with the fouls. On to the next one. Yeah, that is how I'm looking at it as well. On to the next one. Next week, I'll have a different tone. If I'm coming next week and we've had 6 shots against Leeds and we've struggled, that is very different. So this particular one, and even Liverpool away in the third game, Liverpool in that game, even a draw I'd be okay with. Don't expect to go there and win 3-0. The only players who played well are Odegaard and Calafiori. Nah, I think Gabriel and Saliba are still very good. Still kept a clean sheet there with Mbeumo. And there's still a reason why when Sesko came on, he didn't see him because of players like Gabriel and Saliba. So Raya made 7 saves as well. So yeah, I've given them an 8 out of 10. So maybe I agree with this, Samuel, because I'm not giving anyone a 9 or a 10. So the most highest I've given today is 8 out of 10. Subai says this is the major reason why Arsenal needs Eze to come in for tired week Odegaard. I don't think I would use weak. I don't think I would use weak. To be honest, I've not really commented on what Tony Adams said. Tony Adams is the best Arsenal captain ever. I mean, he captained us to 3 league titles in 3 different decades, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So he knows what he's talking about, and he talks about a leader. But Arsenal did not fail to win the league the last 3 seasons because Odegaard was captain or because Odegaard was weak or anything like that. Last season, Odegaard did not play well. That is true. Last season, we really struggled up front. He was one of our worst players. That is true. But there's no time that I thought that Arsenal not winning the league because Odegaard was captain. We were so close to winning the league twice when Odegaard was captain. There was other reasons, missing chances, not having a striker and all of that. But since Odegaard became captain, Arsenal have never been bullied. You see this kind of games, I've sat down in August and watched Arsenal losing 8-2 to Man United. Those days we didn't have a captain on the pitch. I've seen us being destroyed by Liverpool away, Man City away. When you look at all of that, you'll never say Arsenal is getting bullied. Arsenal never get bullied. And Odegaard has been the captain ever since he's been captain. Arsenal have never been bullied. We never really, out of every single game, like 3-0 at halftime and you're losing and you're out of the game. No, performance-wise, you still expect more. Performance-wise, he's not been anywhere near what he was in 2023, where he was getting 15 goals. That was a very, very good Odegaard, obviously. But in terms of weak and hiding, I don't agree with that. Let's see. Competition, I agree. I would also have Eze today, 100% for competition and all of that. Paul says, I love your quiz, though he had not scored, but he will. I know. Yeah, I didn't really even have any chance to be honest. Even though we won, but I'm not impressed with the Arsenal performance. Odegaard needs to improve. He does, Michael. I'm not saying he played a 10 out of 10 game. I've told you I still need to see more going forward from Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli and all of those guys. But today, now if you're watching today and saying that Odegaard is the problem, come on, man. He was our best midfielder today. He was better than Rice and Zubimendi today. That is just the truth. He was also better than Saka today. He was better than Martinelli today. So let's see the next couple of games how it goes. Let's see. I don't have a problem with us getting competition. As I've said, I don't want Odegaard to start every single game. No, I'm happy with Nwaneri starting some games. I want Eze to join Arsenal 100%. If he can play in that position as well, some games and rotate, that is great. I'm totally happy that's not depending on these players. I'm fine with that, but I don't think you can just watch this game and I know the legends say that, but yeah, I also try to watch the game by myself. I don't just go with what Tony Adams said or what Thierry Henry said. I don't look at it like that. I respect what they say, obviously. He's the best captain that we've ever had. Yeah, but I don't agree with Arsenal will never win a title with Odegaard because he's captain. That is not the reason why we've not won the trophies. Arsenal have been the best we've ever been in the last 20 years when Odegaard has been captain. I was very much scared with the substitution of Calafiori. Kelly was slightly light on Mbeumo. Yeah, for me, I wanted Timber to be up against Mbeumo, but I think Calafiori did okay. I was saying Calafiori as man of the match before, but I think David Raya makes a good saves today. Yeah, I'd say from the seven saves, at least like 4 of them were really good. 3 of them were easy, like from Cunha and Mbeumo. But yeah, it still kept a clean sheet. Man United are still going to score. Out of the 19 games Man United are going to play at home, they're probably going to score like in 16 or 17 of them. So yeah, 8 for Odegaard, says Davey. I've given him a 7, right? Yeah, I didn't go as high as 8 because I still agree with some of you. I still need to see more from Odegaard. I'm not saying he was the best. I said he was better than Rice and Zubimendi, but I did not say, Odegaard was perfect. No, and yeah, that's why I gave him a 7 and not 8 or 9 or 10. Let's say also in this kind of games, what we need is a win because they're very tough opponents. Yeah, I also don't expect us to play 38 games out of 38, 10 out of 10 performances. No, but listen, if we're still having this conversation in the next 1 month and Odegaard is still not doing what Cesar said here, then we'll talk about it. Odegaard didn't even play well. He was doing the passes to he was not doing the passes to Gyökeres and Saka. That's true. I don't think we did much going forward. And he was wasting the final passes. That one I agree with. But I'm saying in terms of hiding and weak, I don't agree with that. Martinelli is another. He didn't play well at all. That wing is very poor. Now, I understand Arsenal want a left winger more than they even want Eze. So let's wait and see what happens with that. Let's see. Did you think we are going to go for Eze? Says McKay. I don't know. From what you're being told, Arsenal want a winger more than Eze. So yeah, I don't know which winger you're going to go for, but the truth is that left side is very poor. That is just the truth. I don't think we can survive with just Martinelli throughout the season on the left side. That would not be a good idea at all. So we need someone. If Martinelli is getting subbed off in the 58th minute as well, that shows you as well that Atada isn't really convinced that much about what is going on as well. So let's see. Adebayo says, why the criticism now? I don't have a problem with people. If people are not happy with how they get played, that is fine. If people are not happy with how Saka played, that is fine. This is a sign we might win the league this year, getting a result when he played badly. You can imagine what would happen when we start playing well. We'll be smashing teams. Yeah, I also choose to look at it that way. If we are still beating Man United when Rice is a 6 out of 10 and, Zubimendi is a 6 out of 10 and Saka didn't do anything and Gyökeres didn't do anything and Manelli didn't do anything. Obviously, you need to say is to play better. You're not going to beat teams like Liverpool, obviously, like this. But in terms of the results, that is all I care about. Today we got the win. Responsibility and teamwork are all that Arsenal needs, says Ajami. And one more new signing, Ajami. We also need one more new signing up front. We still need more going up front. Okay, so you see this kind of comment from George. That is just not true. That comes out to me like I'm George and I hate Odegaard. Odegaard was not the worst player on the pitch. That is a lie. That is a complete lie. Anyone who watched that game, you cannot say Odegaard was worst player on the pitch. That is a complete lie. So that comment is coming from a place of I don't like Odegaard. That is what that comment is coming from. So let's be genuine with the criticism. I did not say Odegaard played well, but I said he was better than Zubimendi and Rice. So if a player doesn't play well, we'll say a player doesn't play well. I said Gyökeres did not play well today, even though I want him to play well. But you cannot start saying he was worst player on the pitch. That is not true. Despite what Tony Adams said, Odegaard was not bad. I don't care what Tony Adams said. That is his opinion. I also have my opinion. I respect what he said about Odegaard. But I don't think Arsenal failed to win the league because Odegaard is the captain. I think that is actually nonsense, actually, for me. So that's just my opinion. That is his opinion. That is George's opinion. But yeah, Odegaard is still going to start the next game. So there's a reason why they said 95% of the team voted for Odegaard to be the captain. We are not the ones who are there. They're the ones who know what is happening behind the closed doors. And we won the game. So it's great. If George is that mad and we won the game against Man United, I'm happy with that. That means we have high levels, and even after beating Man United, people are still not happy. That is great. So let's see how it goes against Leeds next week. Maybe it could be different in that particular game. So let's see. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We got the win against Man United, even though from the comments it feels like we didn't get the win. No, we actually got the win. We kept a clean sheet at Man United. Very good. Not a very good goal, but a goal nonetheless. We got the goal. We kept a clean sheet. That is all that matters. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.